everyone! We are here again, and it is Streets of Rage, the unofficial remake from Bomber Games. Now, you should be able to see, in fact I can see it here, you should be able to see the sort of menu screen. That's it. Oh, hello King Castle. Hey, Squidge. Thank you both for joining us in the chat. I'm going to be attempting to play this. I did actually give it a try. I've been playing this game for a very long time. I love the Streets of Rage games. Me and Squidge, he's in the chat thing down there somewhere. We used to play this a whole bunch when we were kids. And we used to love playing it. And yeah, Streets of Rage 2 I think was my jam. But I'm sure Squidge would probably say something. This is an unofficial community remake that was released a couple of years back, and Sega promptly took it down through a DMCA. It is still available out there if you're willing to do some searching. This is the version that I had when it first came out, so that's pretty cool. I also have it on my RG350, which is up here somewhere. I will show you that. On this. That's the white balance on that is too high. It's a little device that you can use to play stuff. So there you go. Yes. So let's talk about Streets of Rage Remake. Now, first of all, I'm going to do a little bit of moving around because I think my audio levels are going to be too high. So let's just go into the shop just to check the background noise. So I think that's too high, but do let me know. In fact, let me turn it down just a little bit. I think 18 will do it. Apparently that has come down a little bit. Let me bring it down a little bit further. It's really loud on my headphones. I don't know what it's like in the actual stream, so you're gonna have to let me know. It sounds fine. Now I did just fiddle with it, Squidge. And there is a couple of seconds delay, so I'm going to leave it. I'm not going to fiddle with anything else. I'm just going to leave it running, right? What's great about this is it's completely free. Hey, thanks King Castle. And thanks Squidge for giving it a bit of a try for me. So I'm going to leave that, right? Now you see, what you're going to realise about me really quickly is that I'm actually pretty terrible at Streets of Rage games. But first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to let the intro play out, right? So when I play it, I'm going to do it with CPU friends. So I'm going to assign a CPU to help me. But let's just drop out to the start screen because I want to kind of show you the intro thing. Because some people haven't played this, right? They've just played Streets of Rage 4 and that'll do brilliant, right? But let's just skip over that because that's the track screen. Here we go. So one of the things that's really interesting, right, about the remake versus Streets of Rage 4, and yes, Squidge, I will be playing as the Duke of Deliciousness. You're saying the sound of the game needs to be a little bit higher. Okay, let's have a look. Let's try that. Hopefully that helps. I've just bumped it up a little bit. yeah. So King Castle, yeah, we've been streaming for a little while now. Me and my brother. My brother's in the chat, so yeah, we're co-located. We're not located in the same place, but yes. Yeah, one of the things that you'll notice about the Streets of Rage remake, which came out years ago, is that it and Streets of Rage 4 share a whole bunch of stuff. Right? Now obviously the user interface isn't the same, and yeah, alright, the choice of characters isn't the same. I'm going to choose balanced. Now, oh no, push the wrong button. Here we go. But you can also swap the palettes on the characters, which is really cool. Right? So you can play as Yasha and Onihime if you want to. But I am going to play as the Duke of Deliciousness, and I am going to have Achwell. I'm gonna have Achwell in my corner. Now, the other thing about the Streets of Rage remake is it isn't just a remake of the first game or the second game or anything like that. There is actually a story that progresses through them. Yes, good point to make there, Squidge. The game can crash, excuse me, from time to time, and there's not usually a reason given, which is a bit of a shame. But there you go. But yeah, but that's because it's fan made, and I think it was made over 2 or 3 years. But it is pixel perfect, right? You'll see in a moment when it actually starts. And all of these characters who we're talking are selectable in the game. And there's essentially 4 stories. There's Streets of Rage 2, Streets of Rage, a brand new story, and I think Streets of Rage 3? I don't know. One of those 2 is Streets of Rage 3, and one of them isn't. Right? But I like to play the OG Streets of Rage with, I'm just going to move the mouse and just bring you behind the curtains a little bit. Oh, you can't do it. Okay, fair enough. You can actually see Blaze's underpants. So there you go. Unlike the image I've got back there, right? Which I won't take down, but you can't see her underpants in there. The other thing to note is you can run in this game, which is really cool. You can't do that with all of the characters in Streets of Rage 4. Not all of them can do that, and you can also do the movement, the Y-axis dodging, which is pretty cool. I love that sound, right? When you can hit them with that sort of combo move, that running combo move. Yep, that's it. Is it that one? Yeah, look at that. I can even get them to talk to each other. Haha! So, chat needs bringing up again. Alright, fair enough. Right. Let's see if I can do this, because this happens every single time, right? What about if I do this? Then I do... lock that down. Unlock that one. Underneath the chat, lock it down, bring the camera, make it a little bigger, lock it down. Happens every time this. But then you see, then I need to then do this. Game a little. Whoops. Doing it live, doing it live. There we go. Get it so that it's actually at the edge of the screen, because otherwise you're not going to actually see what's happening. This is a bit distressing because I've actually to make the game actually smaller. Yeah, let's put it there. Let's put it there. Right? It's because I use one app with... It's Spooky! There he is! There he is! Spooky's back again. Hopefully, Squid, you can read that. The text. Otherwise, I could do that and make it a little bit bigger. How's that feel? Is that better? Now you see, it's not quite placed properly again. Every time I have to move it up a little bit. There we go. It's because I'm using this. I'm using standard OBS. I'm not on Windows, so I can't use OBS with the Streamlabs OBS because that's not available on Linux. But there you go. I make do. I make do. Let's chuck this guy over here. So yeah, you can see that this is essentially. Whoops. This is essentially Streets of Rage 1 recreated. And hopefully, if the sound levels are right, you should be able to hear it sort of... It's not perfect audio, but like because they've remixed a whole bunch of the tracks. Let's give him a punch. Pine pot! Yes, you're absolutely right there, Squidge. There you go. Yeah. Yes. Stab this guy. No. That one. I'm going to throw this. There we go. I'm trying to figure out what the controls are as well because the actual game itself is designed to be played on a Sega 6-button Mega Drive controller. And I don't know where you can tell, but I'm not using one of those. I'm using an Xbox 360 controller. So there you go. Let's see what happens. Oh, I love that sound when you can hit him like a million times with one move. Like that. Oh, it fills me with joy. You know, Marie Kondo says if it doesn't fill you with joy, get it out of your life. Well, attacking people like that will always be in my life because... it's gotten beaten up. The Duke of Deliciousness is getting beaten up, and that's not good. There it is. There it is, that sound again. So, my question to everyone who's watching is, I've got several. A, have you played Streets of Rage 4? B, if you have played Streets of Rage 4, what did you think to it? C, if you haven't, but you have played one of the older Streets of Rage games, which is your favourite, right? Because everyone's got a favourite. I always say to Squidge that we don't talk about Streets of Rage 3 because, well, we don't. Punch him. There we go. But I'll answer those questions myself in a moment, once I've given you all a chance to really think about the questions I've asked. But yes, so Streets of Rage 4, right? Streets of Rage 4. Absolutely love it. And I was originally really reluctant. I did not think it was going to be any good. Right? I honestly thought it was going to be absolutely tripe. But it's brilliant. And I'm so happy to have been wrong. Right? So, okay, so which Streets of Rage is my favourite? It's gotta be Streets of Rage 2. And I know I'm playing the original Streets of Rage storyline here, but Streets of Rage 2 is the best one. It is that simple. I'm sure that Squidge would disagree with me on that one. But there you go. Let's chuck that over there. Give this lady a couple of punches, which is something I can't really say in real life. How is the sound? As long as the sound's okay, because like I said, it's really loud in my speakers, in my headphones. But as long as you guys can hear it and you can hear me over the top of it, I don't mind. Oh dear. Oh, do the little Squidge dance. That's what we used to do when Squidge and I used to play this one back in the day. I didn't do that call on the police for backup then, the CPU did. But when we used to call on the police for backup back in the day like that, we used to both put the controllers down and do a little dance. Ah! It always gets me, that guy. There we go. Oof. Awesome, Spooky, awesome. I'm glad to hear that you enjoyed Streets of Rage 4, because it is a brilliant game. And like I said, I was really reluctant about it at first. I didn't like the idea of being able to switch the aesthetic around and have the original characters in the new art style. It looked a bit weird to me, but I'd totally gotten into it now. I'm big fan. And yeah, I could totally get behind the first game being your favourite because it is a brilliant title. So there you go. Yeah, I was wondering about that, Spooky, how your B and then a bracket turned into that. But that's good to know. It's good to know that that happens. I guess it's because if you turn your head that way, it's a pair of glasses and a face. I totally get why they did it. Yeah, like you can tell there's the storylines in this game. Little bits of almost like how did Brentalfloss put it? It was cutscenes in animated cutscenes, pixelated style. That's how he puts it in the Game Over Tinnies song. I don't know whether you remember that, Squidge. And then when you beat the game, which took a fucking while, you got an animated cutscene, all pixelated style. That's what his lyric is. Let's just wipe that guy up. As you can tell, I'm not very good at the old Streets of Rage, but I do try. And I have the feeling, right? Because I was talking to Dylan about Dylan from Arcade Attack about the remake, and he'd said, you know, I played a few levels and got killed a lot, so I get the feeling that Dylan and I are probably at the same level of ability with this game. What's this Squidgy saying? He's saying the pad problem made me get used to fighting the boss without the backup from the oh yeah, we had all sorts of issues with our controllers. Oh man. But what's great is the you know, what a lot of people didn't realize at the time, or at least a lot of people in our circles didn't realize at the time, was that the Mega Drive controller and Master System controllers used the same button mapping. So you could, it was the same connector, so you could just literally connect a Master System controller to a Mega Drive and a Mega Drive controller to a Master System. And it was only a few years ago that I realized that it's the custom-made Amiga controller port. So you could totally, if you wanted to, connect an Amiga joystick to the Mega Drive and it would kind of work. So something to try out next time, Squidge? We'll have to get ourselves a Mega Drive again. Although you've probably still got yours, haven't you? Get ourselves a Mega Drive and get a couple of Amiga joysticks and try and play Streets of Rage like that. What do you think? Anyway, but there you go. Let's beat this guy up. I hate when he comes in and steals your way. This, you see, that's a really good point, Squidge. You don't have an Amiga, but we can maybe get one. I don't know, maybe I'll get one. It'd be a fun challenge to see if I can program for it. That's one thing I haven't figured out how to do, right? With this controller, I don't know which button it is, right? To actually do that special attack that you can do. It's that combo attack. I haven't figured out which button it is, but I will. But there you go. Any game like this on an arcade stick is awesome. You're absolutely right, Squidge. Any game on when played using an arcade stick like this would be absolutely amazing. And we need to, that's what we need to do. That's that. Okay, let's trash all of my other ideas, right? Here's what we do. We get a couple of those Mega Drive arcade sticks. Oh yeah, picked up some candy. Candy hype. We get some Mega Drive arcade sticks. We get a couple of oh, it's got beaten up. A couple of copies of the different Streets of Rage games. A couple of those Mega Drive arcade sticks that are super expensive, and we just play that for like 24 hours. As soon as this COVID nonsense is over, right? And I only call it nonsense because I'm like, I don't want to refer to it as the pandemic because that's kind of scary. So I call it the nonsense because it's kind of silly, right? Once this nonsense is over, you and me, Squidge, we've got a big pile of games we need to play in person, right? I'm coming around to your house and I'm staying there for a week because it'll be amazing to see you again because it's been ages and we've got so much stuff to do. There you go, you see, Squidge has already said, oh, he's got a gun. Squidge has said that he already has an arcade stick for his Mega Drive. But all I've got to do is buy him another one. And that's been recorded, so that'll always be out there, right? I'm gonna buy him another one. But that's what we'll do. We'll buy you another one. Forgot about that. Buy you another one and we'll see if we can get you set up, right? Because that'll be so much fun to do. Just like get loads of snacks, a couple of energy drinks or something stupid like that. I don't know. It's something stupid. And just play Streets of Rage until the cows come home, right? Yeah, right. Let's do that because that's what needs to be done, right? Spending time with folks that you care about, and just doing fun things. Just got squished again. Enchilada, yes, enchilada. So that's what Squidge and I call. Basically, we have enchiladas for lunch. But they are the greatest enchiladas in existence. I guarantee that you will never be able to make any enchiladas better. Special Waffling Taylor's recipe, right? And it's a secret recipe, and I've been sworn to secrecy about it, what's in it and stuff, with real swear words. So if you want to find out what it is, you're going to have to get Squidge to tell you. And here comes the boss. What's great about this, right, is that because the music is slightly remixed, right? And you can tell that because in certain later stages, like different pieces of music have slightly different instrumentation. Let's just do this. It is indeed, Squidge, you were absolutely right. It's Baraka the Rapper. Let's take him out. Both of them. Wallop. There we go. Love that. And that's one of them dead, and they are both dead. Look at that. Fantastic. Let's do this. So what do you think, Squidge? Should we mainline all of the two Streets of Rage, because we don't talk about the third one, all of the two Streets of Rage games for the Mega Drive when this nonsense is over? You and me, what do you think? That's some good whiskey. Whiskey's optional, of course. I do have unaffiliated bubbly fluids. But that's all good. Right. And like I said, you'll notice that I'm not that great at playing Streets of Rage. And the thing is, right, it's because I always rely on Squidge being with me to help me play the game. Because, yeah, I'm not very good at button mashes, but I love playing them, right? And the reason that I choose when I'm playing Streets of Rage Remake, the balanced AI, is because it's just a little bit short of playing the game exactly like Squidge used to. The only difference being that he would do what my character is doing when there's health. Just randomly run up and pick it up, regardless of whether he needed it, and try to run in and beast his way through getting the kills, because that's what he does. But that's also, he would do exactly that, right? But he would have also eaten that apple. But that is cool. Right. We're working out for the last, so Squidge says, dude, I've been working out for the last 5 days a week for the last month and a half. I could do with a pork out and oh yes, pork out and crap and eat and play video games all day. Let's do this. But what you don't realize is that it's going to be a several day thing, right? I'm gonna come over, we play loads of stupid games, and that sound is amazing. Yeah, come over, play a bunch of stupid video games, and I'll never leave, never leave, never leave, never leave. And what would have been great then is if I'd have had one of them soundboards, I could have played the sound effect from Aswad. But there you go. That's a little space reference for you all. Oh yeah, so you'll have noticed that my charge attack now, my running at him attack has changed from that sort of jump kick attack to now a running punch. That is because up in the top left hand corner, just to the right of my my health bar, you can see there's now 2 stars. Excuse me, that means that my that running dash attack has changed, but also my standard attacks have now gotten stronger. So that happens because I've gotten enough points. There's another bar that says OK, that's the OK meter. Now that allows me to do certain special moves, but like I said, I'm not using a controller that this game is built for, so I can't figure out which button that is. So there you go. I'm gonna have to just deal with not doing that for now. Right, beat him up. Ah, always happens. Just beat this person up. See what this says. It's possible to get access to all of your 0-star blitzes as well as the star blitz at the same time, with more expert-oriented X button type blitz settings in the blitz options. Oh yeah, good point. Yep, I should have really done some digging into the options, but I just haven't. But yeah, thanks for that. Thanks for that little piece of information there, BK Roo. And obviously, I didn't see you enter the chat, so I'm just going to say hello and welcome. Like I said, I'm not very good at this game, but I'm going to try. Always with Barbarian and El Gigante. They always get me. This is the boss that I hate fighting. I absolutely hate fighting this game. Hate fighting this boss. On this version of the game, on the original version of the game, everything. I just really hate it. So because you perhaps didn't see it, BK Roo, I'm not actually. Let me. The controller I'm using is an Xbox one. So yeah, it's not a 3-button controller. So yeah, and he's dead. Oh well, down to 1 star. Here we go. I get the kickback, which I prefer actually. So with the Duke of Deliciousness, you get this flying kick as the first sort of running attack, and then the second level running attack is that punch you saw, and then after that, after the punch, you then get a punch and uppercut, which is really quite cool. That one's nice, but it's the kick that I prefer. Oh, and he landed. Awesome. Oh yeah. I didn't even spawn that one. That was all the CPU. Yeah, playing with the double bosses is hard, but that's because I'm playing with the CPU. Because like I said, well, you see, Squidge, I didn't call the cops that time, so I didn't do the cop dance. I only do the cop dance when I call the cops. Tell you what I'll do. I'll do it next time, regardless of whether I do it or not. Sip of some whiskey there. But yes, so BK Roo said then you have access to all the buttons, then like command input, blazes, and police specials. Yeah, I do. But yeah, I don't know. I just because I haven't really. I'm used to playing this. I play this more on my RG350, which I showed off at the. Look at that! It's got 2 stars again. I'm used to playing this on the RG350, which I showed off just at the beginning of the stream. And so with that one, it's already set up with all of the buttons mapped. I just need to figure out which buttons are supposed to be mapped to what. That's all. And I can do that with a little bit more experimentation in the options because it just takes a little while. But I'll figure it out. Yes! We now have a hole in the floor. Ah, I like chucking people down the hole in the floor, you see. Come on. There we go. Can you do it? Straight down the hole, as it were. Hole in one. Here we go. X button type makes dashes always do 0-star blitzes, whereas dash combo attack will do the current star blitz. Oh right, I see. So maybe I just need to do some more investigation into the controls and stuff. There you go. Both allow you to command input star blitzes by tapping the special combo and pressing the appropriate directions. Oh, interesting. I'll have to do some more digging into the options. It's cool to have an expert in the chat. That's really, honestly, that's really helpful, BK. Thank you ever so much for that. I'll have to do some digging later. But yeah, absolutely. This is there we go. Sometimes the AI gets, I think, a little stuck. Like, sometimes it'll move and sometimes not. I did notice on stage 7, I had a bit of an issue. There's these presses that if you step near them, they come thundering down and you have to jump out of the way. But on stage 7 there's a bit where there's 2 presses next to each other, and for about I don't know, 20 seconds or so, the CPU character kept bouncing between them, like run over here, run over there, run over here, run over there, and we weren't really getting anywhere. It was a bit of a shame, but it's not a huge problem. I mean, this is a free-to-play game, right? I'm not going to complain too much about a free-to-play game. A free-to-play game that is almost pixel perfect, I think, and better in some places than the original. I've got to say, absolutely bloomin' love it. Ah, keep getting zapped. Let's try this again. Modernize it even more. You can enable diagonal running. Oh, didn't know you could do diagonal running. Setting Streets of Rage 3 exceptions to no. I'll have to remember. Squidge, you need to remember that, okay? Because that's really quite useful. Right? I need someone to help me remember that. Just chuck him over that. What did you call that guy, Squidge? This guy I'm beating up? Wasn't it Jackie Chan's cousin or something? But there you go. The hardest difficulty Mania feels balanced around that. Streets of Rage 3 pause delay speeds. Combo type Streets of Rage 3 also reduces the delay after jabbing. Ah, that's probably why I've noticed that the CPU controlled characters can do the standard jabbing combo attacks faster than I can. I don't know whether you've noticed that, other people who, everyone else who's watching. Yeah, you're absolutely right, BK. So yeah, the CPU character sometimes has issues after the hazards, like the gaps in the floor and the presses and stuff. But like I said, it's amazing for what it is, and it's loads of fun to play. There we go. Sometimes you've got to sort of walk back a little bit to get their attention, but that's not a huge problem. I'm going to take that because I'm more important than the CPU at this point, right? Oh dear. As a developer, I am more important than the CPU. Chuck him down the hole. Oh, definitely, yeah. The CPU partner is really competent. So much better at playing this game than I am. And you're absolutely right. AI is indeed tricky to program. I am a developer myself, but I've never actually had to do proper AI. I've only done some, like my university dissertation was, I had to create an AI bot that I could plug into Quake 2 in C, so that it would be a competitive enemy. And I had to do it all with custom C code. I couldn't rely on like the libraries that were available and look at and decompile the code or anything. I had to write my own AI system. and it was really good for like the first 30 seconds. At which point it ran directly at the first wall. I kept running into it. Not very good at all, but there you go. But then that's because, so the reason I chose that for my dissertation was because I didn't know so much about AI. And before even Squidge says it, I forgot to do the dance. So you know what, I'm going to do it again. But yeah, the reason I chose that was because I didn't know so much about AI. So I decided I'll force myself to learn AI during that final year dissertation. And I learned a whole bunch, but not enough to make it work. Oh dear. Would recommend looking into AI. Oh yeah, there was the clap. You know what? I'll do it again next time. Let me just get rid of Bongo. Every time I read the name Bongo, right, I'm reminded of an old sketch from... Oh, I'm reminded of an old sketch from what was it? It was the not the two Ronnies, the other one, Little and Large, Morecambe and Wise. They had the Beatles on, and Eric Morecambe kept referring to Ringo as Bongo, so like he yells out, "You're right, Bongo!" Like that. It's genius. Anyway, yes, you're absolutely right, Squidge. There is a clap. And yeah, Beaker, that dash, you see, now that I've got the level 3, that is amazing, right? Oh, genius. I don't know what it is, but I love the sound of that. That is amazing. I always try to line it up with a whole bunch of enemies so that I can get them all at once, because it's just an amazing, amazing, amazing sound. Oh, that's the blitz attack. Oh, right. It's all right. I don't know the like the terms used. Oh, right, yeah. That's the thing, right? I can't figure out which one the special attack button is. I don't know what I've mapped it to. But I do know I can speak to the other characters, or rather I can say hey. But yeah. Oh dear. Just throw the pepper spray. This is largely useless. Well, you're absolutely right. Y on the controller should be the special attack, but it's currently set to making him say hey. Like that. That's it. That's all it does. But I think that makes the other characters zip to you. But there you go. I don't know what I've set the buttons to, if I'm completely honest. I did try to check them out earlier on. Oh, there you go, Squidge. Got it right. Did the little clap and everything. Yeah, I should remap the controls. I did try earlier on, but it's like... I did try to remap the controls, but I got really confused with the controller layout, but that's my own confusion based on what's going on with me. And you're right, Spooky. It is amazing that the whole level moves up and down. Well, I think the way that they do it... Ah, okay. So my initial thought would be that they moved... whoops. My initial thought would have been that they moved the viewport up and down, but they didn't. You can see that they aren't moving the viewport up and down because the background isn't moving. So that's not it. But yeah, even so, it is amazing. Like I said, Streets of everyone should play Streets of Rage. It is that simple. And yeah, you're absolutely right, Squidge. This is the level with Yasha and Onihime, or as Squidge calls them, the Blaze triplets. It's basically the palette swap Blaze characters. Oh, it's that sound. That sound is amazing. Oops. Genius. I love that sound. I don't know what that says about me, but probably that I'm some kind of maniac, right? I am not gonna lie, I am playing this on easy mode, right? Just because I mean, you've seen how bad I am, right? I'm still scoring all the points, but that's because I'm picking everything up. Oh dear. Here they come, Yasha and Onihime. Couple of screens time. Get ready. Hold on to your butts, as Samuel Jackson says. I mean, he says a whole bunch of other things, but... Aha! Back attack! But there you go. I'm quite surprised at how well this is coming through. Hopefully it's coming through well. I'm assuming it is, just because none of y'all have said this is coming through really badly. Yes! Chicken! See, that's... Right. Tekken 3. Tekken 3 had Tekken Force mode. Or at least, you know, the PlayStation version of Tekken 3 had Tekken Force mode. The arcade version didn't, but the PlayStation 3 version did. And it was a really cool sort of send-up, an attempt at making this, but with Tekken characters. Oh, excellent. Oh, bother. BKRoo has said in the chat that there is mod packs to give you the original Streets of Rage 1 and 2 music as well. Ah, if only I knew what the blitz attack or whatever was there. I would have been able to break my way out of that. There you go. Oh, the button that's doing haze for the special combo as well. Ah, I see. So like if I do maybe this? I don't know. We'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. Oh, that sound. Love it. Oh. Oops. Now I'm back down to 2, which is a shame really, but there you go. What's this? Oh, wow. Oh, wow. BKRoo, you've just blown my mind. So yeah, if I tap that, so he's saying that that's unconscious bias, I do apologize. BKRoo has said that if I tap the button that makes him say hey, right, I have to double tap it to make him do that, and it makes Axel, or as I called him earlier, an Achwell, for those who have ever seen the Beverly Hills Cop movies. Now if you tap that button and double tap forward, whoops, he does that. Ha ha! Ooh. Yeah, so he says the special button is separate for a special combo button, but it doesn't attack. It drains your meter, whereas there is one that you can do for defense when you're standing still as well. The one that has invulnerability should be Adam jumping up and doing a split kick. This one. Nope. I did have that. I did have it working earlier on. Oh well. That one. Like that. Haha. Awesome. I found two sets of moves that I can use that I'll just completely forget about how to use, right? I do like that, even though I've got effectively friendly fire turned off, if I throw someone at Axel, it still hurts him. Haha. Oh, good point. Yeah, if I use that one when the meter's empty, it'll cost me health. And if you watch now, it wipes out the OK meter, so that's cool. So, the offensive special version, if you press it while holding forward. Oh yeah, I can totally remap the controller. You're absolutely right. I kind of didn't. That's the problem. I kind of didn't remap it. That's always with these kinds of games. Go into the options and see what there is, because if I end up losing all my lives, or if I end up completing it or whatever, I will show you the options, because there are so many things to tinker, to change. It is absolutely amazing. Absolutely. Oh yeah, back up to 2 stars. Nope, nope. I didn't do that one, but I wanted to do the dance anyway, just to keep Squidge happy. Oh my goodness, so many truth bombs being dropped by BKRoo in the chat, so thank you ever so much for that, because it really helps with whoops, it really helps with keeping, yeah, keeping these whoops, oh dear. Yep, okay. Yeah, got the kick back again. But yes, what I've noticed is that the music is slightly remixed and some of the instruments have changed, and you'll be able to hear that later on. If I get to some of the later stages. One of the great things about that, it's a really cool tip for all of the Streets of Rage / Bare Knuckle games. If you get thrown over someone's shoulder, right? I've found that if I hold the up and jump buttons, then the character will be able to just land, gracefully roll over and stand up without taking any damage. which is not the world's most secret tip, but a tip nonetheless. I can't really give that many tips out for Streets of Rage games, but there you go. Shots fired from Max there. Oh dear. Bigger. This stage, right? So this stage, there are, we'll see them in a minute, a bunch of press things that just sort of come down from the ceiling and squish the enemy. And if you are too close to them, they'll come down and squish you. But if the there's like a thing with the CPU character gets kind of stuck, trying to jump from one to another to avoid getting hit by it. Excuse me. Oh right, I didn't even realize it was in the manual. See, never read the manual as a kid. I don't think we had the manual. Did we, Squidge, for our Streets of Rage? It's in the manual for the first game and the Game Gear ports, but for some reason it's not in the manual for the Sega Genesis Streets of Rage 2 or Streets of Rage 3. Interesting. Oh. Yeah, just press and hold up and jump until you land. It's great. And it really is. It really is. Let's just get that out of the way. So yeah, these presses, they come smashing down like that, and if you're standing too close to it, when it comes down, you get squished. Yeah, if you're standing too close to it, when it comes down, you get squished. Because as we get further into this stage, the presses get closer together, right? And what happens with those is the CPU can get trapped between them. But what I didn't realize until like earlier on, what I didn't realize until earlier on when I was playing is that if you double tap that button, it makes the CPU character basically jump to you. Ah! Yes! Adam really is a beast. I usually play as Blaze, but ever since I've been playing the Streets of Rage 4, ever since I've been playing Streets of Rage 4, as soon as I unlocked Adam from Streets of Rage 1, I've played as Adam until I've unlocked all of the other Adam characters. Ah! They did a really good job with the design. The CPU call function for special combo attack is great as well. Yeah, you're absolutely right. That is brilliant. Okay, I can stand over here and go, come here. And it brings him in. I'm going to grab that because who cares? There we go. So yeah, as we get closer to these, there'll be a few that are right on top of each other for those. So we need to be kind of careful about those, right? But like I said, right, this what I'm playing through is kind of like the storyline or a storyline that's kind of based on the first game, but with all of the characters. And we'll see. I don't think I'll get to play all four of the storylines, but there are the four storylines, and each one of them has at least one stage which branches, where you can choose a different path. And there's like stages where you're on jet skis and motorbikes. It's amazing. They've taken the original Streets of Rage games, the bare knuckle games, and just added so much content to them. It is amazing. And it's a real shame that Sega shut it down almost instantly. Because like, I believe when it first came out, it was available for about 4 hours. And then Sega just dropped it. Like they bombed it out of real life through DMCA takedown requests. Everywhere that hosted it got taken down, which is a real shame. Oh wow, I didn't even realize that the jet ski and motorbike stages were from the beta levels. Oh, Jackie Chan's cousin, that's right, Squidge, yeah. Yeah, so the distribution of it was shut down. Yeah, you're right, BK. The distribution of the Streets of Rage remake project was shut down, but the development on it did actually keep going. I would love to get in contact with some of the people who've worked on it actually, because I'd love to chat with them about like how they went about doing it, you know, and like what tools they used. Did they rip the sprites from the original games, or did they somehow recreate them, or did they do ROM dumps? I'd love to find all that stuff out, right? Oh, just got pressed. Let's see if we can grab this. Yes. But yeah. I'd also love to know what the game's written in as well, right? Because, like I said, I'm a developer myself, so it might be that I can somehow help out. I don't know. Yeah. Oh, cool. A lot of the content was ripped data and then redrawn. Interesting. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, the Streets of Rage 1 characters have been ripped and then scaled up, I guess. Yeah. You're gonna get squished there? Right, okay. So I think it's this one. I think it's this set of presses that you can kind of get stuck between because of the CPU character. Chuck you over there. Yeah. But yeah, interesting. I agree with you, Scridge. Is there anything that BK Roo doesn't know about Streets of Rage history? And if not, how do we help BK Roo to find out about it? Oh my goodness. It's not this one. It's not this set. It's not this set of like I said, it's not a huge problem, but it's this set of presses. There we go. This one, it can get stuck. So what I'm gonna have to do is, rather than waiting, I'll run through to the other side and do that. There we go. Because last time it got a bit stuck, but you know, it can't be perfect. You know, it's a fan created title, and I mean, I'm not saying that it's not in any way professional, but it is. It's absolutely wonderful, and you can't have everything. Even with a huge team of developers and people who are, I don't want to use the word professional, right? Because some people who've worked on this clearly are very, very professional, but you can't expect everything, right? And clearly, the reason why they've included that come here button, right? The reason that they've included that is to make things like that section easier. But when they couldn't figure out, maybe they couldn't figure out an elegant fix. Yeah. Yes. So you're absolutely right, both of you, BK Roo. So yeah, the best way to experience the series of games is this game, because you've got everything from all of them in it, and yeah, you're right as well there, Squidge, because the shop function in this game. So you obviously you earn a lot of points during the game, and then they are scaled up or down depending on which difficulty level you play on and whether you've got any cheats on and any CPU help and stuff. And that value is then scaled into money, which you can then use in the shop to buy extra content like cheats and extra characters, different skins, that kind of thing. And yeah, you can unlock characters like Roo and Shiva. Brilliant. You know what, BK Roo? I've never actually played as Roo in Streets of Rage 3. I'd been told for ages, forever, that Roo was sort of unlockable in Streets of Rage 2, but I was never able to actually do it, because there's something about if you take out the handler and don't touch Roo, I kept getting told if you do that then you can unlock Roo, but I was never able to do it, so clearly it doesn't happen. Elevator hype! Now here's the thing, right? We said this before. Squidge and I have said this before. Right? That if you play a Streets of Rage game that doesn't have an elevator level, it's not a Streets of Rage game. What you're playing is an Alley of Annoyance game. There's an unlock code for him to start the game with. Just hold down B. Oh, interesting. Is that on the on Streets of Rage 3, BK? So if that's so, I may have to get Squish to try it, because yeah, the way I see it is we don't talk about Streets of Rage 3 because it wasn't the same as Streets of Rage 1 and 2, and that makes total sense, because it wasn't really made by the same dev team, and the Yuzo Koshiro was only partially involved in the soundtrack and stuff like that, so he has no throw or quick way to release from the front grab other than burning the special meter. Oh, yeah. Oh dear. Yeah, I can't imagine Rue being a fun character to play in the Streets of Rage 3 then if he doesn't have a number of attacks. But yeah, let's have a look. You should play the Bare Knuckle 3 translation. The rebalancing is way better than Streets of Rage 3. They made Streets of Rage 3 harder than Bare Knuckle 3's hardest setting with the Did they really? Oh right, I never knew that. So there you go, Squidge. There's a piece of information dropped on you. Streets of Rage 3 is harder than Bare Knuckle 3. Oh, interesting. You see? There you go, using a word that I've heard Squidge use a lot recently. Nerf. Yeah. Let's just get rid of this guy. There we go. I'm trying to keep on top of the chat and actually try and be part of this fight, which is not happening. But I'm gonna try. Oh, so Rue is a top tier boss killer. Maybe that's what I should do. I should unlock Rue on this, right? And then get to a point where I'm doing the boss rush on the next stage. Because essentially the next stage is boss rush and then Mr. X. Get up to that, get killed, and then swap to Rue. What do you think? No. I'm not going to ignore you, BK Rue. You're dropping a lot of knowledge bombs here. And Squidge is right, yeah. One of the... Take a sip of this. One of the versions of Resident Evil 2 is easier, depending on which region you're in as well. So it all makes sense. But then, I always like to... why do you make it easier? Why do you make it more difficult? It's like Final Fantasy VII, right? Final Fantasy VII outside of Japan is actually relatively easy. No, sorry. Final Fantasy VII in Japan is buggy and broken. The original version, buggy and broken, and easier than the version we got over here. Whereas, I'm sure that if Lulu's listening, Spooky, she's probably yelling at me right now. But yeah, the Final Fantasy games in Japan, the original initial versions of them, are slightly easier to play than the versions that are released out in the West, to the point where I have a version of Final Fantasy X called the International version, which is literally just Final Fantasy X, the UK version, but with all of the dialogue and text replaced by Japanese dialogue and text. That's the only difference. There you go. This is what's this? The same thing's happened with a lot of arcade games. Konami messed around a ton with their beat-em-ups to make them credit feedy, and that makes sense. I mean, yeah, I get it. It kind of makes sense though that you'd want your arcade games. You don't want someone to drop a single credit in and complete the game, right? But you also don't want to make it too hard, right? Who was it that I was reading an interview in a book. I've actually got it just here underneath the microphone. It's what I'm using to prop the microphone up with. It's a book called the Code the Classics, which is a book produced by the Raspberry Pi Foundation to help people get their head around making games in Python. And there's an interview in there with Nolan Bushnell, who says, because they're talking about Pong, and he talks about how the game needs to be easy to pick up, difficult to master, and just good enough, just hard enough that you can't finish it on a single credit. Because otherwise, you can finish it on a single credit, you start the game again, you've got infinite goals on the game, right? Oh, well, there we go. So yeah, I completely agree. Yeah, some of the American arcade games did get really just daft with their levels of credits required. But you were having fun, right? You're paying for your fun, so I can kind of get behind it. I don't know. Oh yeah, if the game infinite loops, then yeah. Oh no, it's Shiva. Or is it Shiva? I would say Shiva, but I don't know. There we go. I don't think I've triggered the oh, there we go. This is a difficult fight. This is a... Shiva on any version of Streets of Rage is a difficult fight, right? Shiva on... Ah! Is it those two? No, it's those two. I don't remember. Yeah, Shiva on any Streets of Rage game is a difficult fight. Streets of Rage 1, Streets of Rage 2. I assume Shiva's in Streets of Rage 3? I don't know. Shiva in Streets of Rage 4 is definitely a difficult fight. But once you've noticed the patterns... Yeah! Once you get your head around the patterns, it's not that difficult. Whoop. Ow! I mean, it would help if I knew how to get the special button working. Those two, right, yeah. Ah! Oh well. Grand upper. Oh dear. I'm not crazy about infinite looping. You're pressured to play constantly and get higher and higher scores if you're good enough to... You're absolutely right, yeah. But... Oh, yes. But by the same token, though, by the same token, if you're playing in a modern arcade area, we have a bunch near me that are you pay to get in sort of thing. You know, you pay your, I don't know, nominal fee to get into the arcade, and all the games are set to like free play mode. Yes, at that point it's kind of good. Yeah, infinite looping. I don't think I'm a big fan of. Just clear all this out. Get the 3 stars again. Is this the boss rush mode? Because we're about to see Mr. X again, and we get a choice when we get to see Mr. X. This is one of the great things about Streets of Rage 1, is that you get a choice. Why don't you join me? Be my right-hand man. And if both characters choose, there's a yes or no prompt. If both characters choose different answers, so this is the boss rush bit, right? I've got to face all the bosses. But yeah, if both characters choose different options, then you get sent back a level. Then you have to fight each other, and then you get sent back a level. If you both choose yes, you both get sent back to level 6. And then if you both choose no, then you have to take on the boss. So yeah, it's interesting. I don't think at the time, I ever played, especially a Mega Drive / Genesis game, that gave you an option as to how the story played out. Oh, you can get the bad ending without being sent back. Interesting. Ah. Oh, that is what I'm talking about. Did you hear that? That was about 12 bajillion hits. Love that stuff. Oh, right. Betray, then win, and then refuse to work with him. Interesting. Oh, with the CPU. So yeah, that's one of the things I was going to say. So if you're playing with friends, or like if you're me and you used to play with your brother, then yeah, you both have free will unless you discuss it at that point in the story. But with the CPU, it just chooses whatever you choose. So if you choose yes, you get yes. If you choose no, you get no. You can't do one versus CPU. Or at least I haven't seen it, and you know I've played through this storyline more than a few times, because like I said, on my RG350, which I'll show you when I finish the game, it's sort of pre-shipped on there. There's a version of the firmware that ships with a bunch of things on it, and the Streets of Rage Remake version 5 is one of the things that's oh dear, 47 loop clear. Oh jeez, I can't even imagine that. Wow, that's amazing. But yeah, because the RG350 is shipped on my because Streets of Rage Remake is shipped on my RG350, I play it. I used to play it whenever I was on long train journeys. So like I'd commute over to work, or I'd go over to see Squidge, who's in the chat, 40 miles away, which is not a huge distance if you're American, but for the rest of us in the UK, that's a pretty big distance, right? But that would be about an hour of just sort of playing this. But yeah, playing, wow, 47 loops through any game, I suppose, is interesting. That feels like it should be that feels like maybe a charity stream, or like a games done quick sort of thing, but games on repeat. I don't know, maybe that could be a thing. He's a bit of a mad lad. Yes. I could agree with that. What happens if I do that? So that's that one. Yep, okay. I was just trying different buttons with that Y button. See what I could do. I love that chord sequence there. The ba ba da ba ba bam. The sort of build back up. It's brilliant. Genius. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, I'm gonna have to. I don't know how I'm gonna do it though. I would love to speak to some of the folks who were involved in making this fan game, because I feel like calling it a fan game is maybe slightly dismissive, but yeah, making this version of the game, I'd love to speak to some of the folks who did it. It's because I want to know more about how it was done and stuff. Because yeah, I'm a naturally curious person and I'm a developer, so did they write all of the code themselves? Did they use some kind of build tool? Is it? I could always ask on the forum. Maybe I should. You're not sure if Bomber Games is around. Well, maybe I'll have to look on the forum, figure out which forum it is, and see if I can find out if anyone's willing to have a chat with me. That'd be amazing. Yeah. Thanks for the pointers there, BK. I'll have to see if I can get onto the forum and see what's going on. Yeah. Excellent. I'm not playing with it. So yeah, BK is asking, are you playing with the two times boss cheat? Nope. I think this is because it's CPU. If I was playing 2-player, I would get 2 bosses. So I think because CPU is essentially 2-player, but the CPU controls one of them, I think you get 2 bosses anyway. I'm not entirely sure. Please correct me if that's not right. I definitely not turned on the two times boss cheat. So there we go. So I think this next boss is the one that I hate, the wrestler. The one that's totally not Ultimate Warrior. Rent a car. That's what Squidge and I thought that he was saying all the time. I guess they did have 2 bosses at once and 2 players. Yeah, they must have. They must have. You're right. The level editor lets you trigger all enemies by difficulty in single or multiplayer mode. Alright, cool. So yeah, that's the other thing, right? There's the shop, which allows you to unlock extra features, but there's also the Streets of Rage sort of like level maker, as BKRU has hinted at there. So one of the features of this, I'll have to see, more people need to play this because it is amazing. It has things like a level editor, and you can make your own storylines, and there's even like a boss rush mode, so you can just do essentially the equivalent of this stage, and you can do 1v1 and all that kind of stuff. It's brilliant. Totally worth tracking down. So yeah, if you can figure out how to get this installed on your machine, then I would definitely track it down, because it is totally worth it. So this is the interesting bit, right? When the CPU dies, it just takes a moment and plays through I will select the same character again, which is brilliant. So there are some fan-made packs through the Streets of Rage Maker based on things like Double Dragon. Interesting. I'll have to track one of those down. That'll have to be a future stream. What do you reckon, Squidge? Oh, I didn't realise that the CPU would pick a random character. Interesting. This is where I lose all my continues, and when they pick someone like Rue. Yeah, but this is where I'm going to lose all of my lives and then have to take a continue. Now there's not a problem with that, except that when you do lose all your lives and have to take a continue, you lose all your points. So that 4630, so that 4 million points that I've got, I'm not going to have any at the end of the game. Oh well. Yeah, you're right. I should continue to use my special meter because it's there. I just keep forgetting which button it is, but I've figured it out now. Yeah. There's a brilliant. I think it's with Blaze. Her attack, her rushing attack. The equivalent of that is, yeah, the dashing forward attack is amazing because it like. So Blaze is, I guess, the weakest physical attack character, but the fastest. So you can get like 3 attacks in where other characters can only get 1, and it will kind of take down the same amount. But hers, when she does her forward dashing attack, I could swear that you get that. You get about 27 of them. It's amazing, and I love to hear it. Ah, got me. Come on, Bongo. Oh, it's Big Ben, not Bongo. Ah. They're just slightly out of sync. It's like sine and cosine right now. Those of a physics bent. Ah. And then I drop in. CPU grabbed him, then realized I can't throw him. Interesting. Do 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 do. Ah. Yeah, boot to the head. So, for the folks in chat who have played Streets of Rage 1, which is practically everyone, I think, at this point. Whoops. Who's your favourite character to play as in the original Streets of Rage? Right? Mine used to be Blaze, but then it's got to be Adam. It's the Duke of Deliciousness, or rather, the Duke of Deliciousness. Right? So, who's your favourite character to play as? Because that's who I want to know. Ah, okay. So, BK says Blaze. I'm interested to hear what Squidgy's answer is. Ah. What do you reckon, Squidge? Ah, done it again. What do you reckon, Squidge? Who's your favourite character? I used to agree with what BK Roo is saying. Just because Adam's kind of like your heavy, right? Axel's your middle of the road, and Adam. Right, okay. Everyone's saying Blaze. Maybe I need to go back to playing as Blaze. Yeah. The Streets of Rage. So yeah, BK Roo has said that in this game you can unlock the Streets of Rage 1 version of Blaze as well, which is absolutely correct. I haven't done it yet. I've played through on this installation of it, because I like to sort of wipe out the save files every now and again and just start again, you know. On this installation of it, I think I've played once or twice, so I haven't really unlocked that much. But what I think I'm going to do, so I'm going to, finish this one. Oh, here we go. One last set of bosses. I think it's just the guys with guns after the... It is. You're absolutely right there, BK. It's brilliant to just, every now and again, wipe out your save file and start again. You know, because you kind of get used to having everything unlocked, right? And so you get to a point where you're like, oh, I want to play again, and, you know, rather than having like all the cheats and secrets and all the extra characters, you go, I'm going to go back to basics, which is always something good to do. You're right, BK. I do need to remap the controller, which maybe I'll do later once we finish this run through. I don't know. Oh, absolutely. I agree with you there, Squidge. The ability to watch the screens of rage. So when we've... I forgot that when you throw them in this, they land. When you beat the game, you get the screens of rage. So it's like the game takes... not really a screenshot, but it takes a record of what happened and how you finished off each of the bosses. And not in boss rush mode, but throughout the normal set of stages. And it shows you them. The screens of rage it's called. Let's continue as Adam. Just because. Get over there, Onihime. And I feel like that there's a lot of stuff in this game that has been how do I put it? I don't want to say copied. In a lot of things in Streets of Rage 4 have been very clearly inspired by Streets of Rage Remake, is how I'll put it. And that's one of the things that I think is missing from Streets of Rage 4 is the Screens of Rage, because that would be amazing. But there you go. Yeah, so in the original, you get something similar to this. Okay. Final boss. What I've found in Streets of Rage 4, which is not a... This is in no way new news, right? He does have a gun, you're absolutely right. What I found in Streets of Rage 4, which was something Squidge pointed out to me, and this is in no way news, is that you can start a standard combo and then do your rush attack or your special attack or blitz attack or whatever it's called. That running forward. Careful now, he's got a shooter. Nice little Black Box reference, Squidge, I love it. But yeah, you can start a series of standard attacks and then hit him with the special attack or the running forward attack or the blitz attack and do loads more extra damage. Because, you know, Streets of Rage 4 is all about let's get as many combo hits as possible, right? Let's see if we can... There we go. Ah! I'll get him, I'll get him. Oh, missed. Yeah. We've only got one more. Oh, right, you can use your standing combo to fill in for a... Oh, interesting. I just need to be better at it, is what you're saying. Punch, 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 forward and special. Ah, right. I just need to be a lot better at playing the game. And then I drop in. Yeah. Yes! Boot to the head, takes him down, and we are done. Story number 1. And what I might end up doing is I may end up doing a couple of these stories over different streams and just play through them, alright? See what we can do. But for now, I've put the controller down. It's here, it's down on there. I'm just going to let the staff... the credits roll because it's amazing, right? That instrumentation there of the music, like that electric guitar you can hear in the background. Wow. Just amazing. You're absolutely right, Squidge. I need to remap the controller right now. Oh dear. Use that damn special meter, son. I should. Yeah. 2003 to 2011 for the original version of it. They've kept making changes. So you can see here all of the things that I picked up, all of the things that the CPU picked up, is then all added together, and then because it's 2 players I get 1,000 points taken down. I get, because I'm easy, I get 2,500 points, not very much. Because I use continues, it takes 5,000 off, so I got 20,000 coins to use. And let's see if we can this is it. It's so good. feature needs adding to all Streets of Rage games. It needs adding to Streets of Rage 4. Didn't do that great that time, and you can see, so I got 8th at that time, and I did get I got 6th the last time that I played it, so there you go. Excuse me. So let's have a look, right? So let's, first of all, before we remap the controller, let's have a look in the shop, right? Because I kind of breezed into here. So yeah, you can buy unlockable characters, right? So I've only ever bought a couple of the characters in here. I'm going to say who I think they are. So we've got Rue, Streets of Rage 1 Blaze. One of these two here, the 75 or the 90, is going to be Shiva. That's Alex? No. What's he called? The character that is totally not supposed to be a stereotypical from the 90s stereotypical. I hate to say it, but gay character. That bad representation. And then I get the feeling that this is one of the that this one is going to be one of the two twins. A low prior could be used by doing pressing. Let's have a look. Oh, I see. So you're saying, yeah. Back is police. Yeah, I always do back for the police to start for pause. Let's have a look. So you're saying Y for attack, A for jump, A, special for right bumper, combo B, back attack. Okay, so we'll have a look. We'll have a look. Yeah, Ash. Sorry, Ash. Ash. You can see where I went wrong there, right? Ash and Alex, right? Okay, so there's characters that I can buy. I'm not going to buy any. There's also cheats that I can buy. You can see I've already bought one, right? I've got like uncensored Blaze, so you can see our pants, right? 2 bosses at once, all these kinds of things. The weapons between stages, enemies die when the boss dies, armor, infinite lives, all this kind of stuff, right? I'm not going to buy any of these things. Let's have a look. Art from the game, character profiles, 2-player volleyball, survival. All of the characters from Streets of Rage 1, Streets of Rage 2, I don't have enough. Oh, I do have enough for that. Okay. Boss rush, palettes, names, cutscenes, any stage, create your own story, event mode. Let's unlock all the characters. Oh, I can't. Okay, yeah, you're right. Okay. So next thing I need to do is I need to go to the options, right? Just look, right? This is game options. Just the game options. Look at this. Look at this. Just genius. All of these things change. Right? I like to use guns. No, because that's good. And there's the video options based on how you want to see it. Now, do you want it full screen or in a window? I'm doing it in a window. It's because, oh, combo type SOR3 removes the pause on movement when jabbing and moving. Okay. Let's go game options, combo type. Streets of Rage 2, the pause on movement when jabbing. Okay, cool. We'll keep that one. That's a really good tip, thanks. Oh, we'll come to the controls in a moment, right? Original, none, we want OST. That's what we want. Okay, so you're saying, special should be, you would recommend special as Y. You would recommend attack should be A, which then changes this. You're saying that jump, oh, hang on. Oh, I've got that wrong. Oh dear, I've lost. So you're saying special should be Y, yep. You're saying attack. Wait. Oh, it should be X. Okay, that's cool. X, yep. You're saying attack, jump, special. Oops. Oh yeah, X for attack. So let's say attack X, jump A, special Y, special combo, right bumper, back attack B, and then series L, and we've got, yeah, police as that one, start as that one. Okay, so that should make it easier to play, right? Even more options. We want to play bare knuckle. Let's change this to bare knuckle. We'll display those. Yep, we'll have fast fade. We'll leave all of these things on, I think. What I think I'll do is I'll look, bare knuckle remake, right? And then go into the options again. Change this to SOR, Streets of Rage. Streets of Rage Remake. Awesome, right? Yeah! Okay. I think what I'm going to do, let's see what I can get from here. I don't have enough to unlock all the characters, which is a shame. Character profiles. Let's get the character profiles. Let's get the character profiles. Because you said, yeah, it enables... Let's go to options, game options. What did we say? Streets of Rage 3 exceptions. So that will be miscellaneous. We want that on. Yes. Disables the diagonal running. Allows the rapid Streets of Rage 1 jabbing where you can spam left and right to hit. Slightly changes the grab hits when you grab the other characters. So I have the choice there. So I have to do diagonal running or rapid. So pause delay affects how long you pause after hitting enemies. It's per character or combined type. SR2 is slow. Right, okay. So pause delay. We'll go remake. There we go. You're saying just set that to no. Okay, let's just set it to no. Let's see what happens. Oh, right. What extra mode? No, so I've got the. So I went into the shop, right? And I bought. Whoops, not on the screen. I bought. There we go. Yes. So I'll read this out, right? I may as well, right? So, Adam Hunter, biography, a senior officer in the police force. Adam was one of the heroes who took to the streets and defeated Mr. X, only to be kidnapped a year later, i.e. Streets of Rage 2, to lure his friends into a trap. He was rescued and later set out to reform the police department to finally end corruption from within. His attempts to fight against the recent riots and crime spree have been hindered from within. And Adam now senses the same citywide corruption as before. Quitting the police force once again, he joins up with... Quitting the police force once again, he joins up with Blaze to take to the streets. Signature move, tactical strike, split kick and riot stopper. Star move. 1 star is forward, X forward. 2 stars is X back forward. 3 stars is X down back forward. Ooh, interesting. Interesting. Squidge is back. Welcome back, Squidge. I'm going to raise my drink to you. If you always want to use Adam's kick attack, is 0 star blitz. You can change the blitz type to X button. That way, dash attack is 0. Stars is always. Oh, I see. Right. Well, let's do CPU again. But this time, I'm going to say. Actually, can I go back? Yeah, I can. I did notice there was one button. There we go. So let's do Blaze, right? And it changes. I've never noticed that. Right, let me just show you this again, right? I've never noticed this. Look at the image for Blaze where the 1 appears. Hey! And I'm going to say Axel. I've never noticed the changes, but there you go. B button helps for characters who have 0 star blitzes and always had their star blitzes, Rue, Blaze and Shiva. It is indeed nice that they have a selection of images. You're absolutely right. But there we go. I'm gonna see if I can do one of the other stories now. I usually only like to stream for like 2 to 3 hours, but we'll see what happens, right? See what happens. Oh dear. There's Max with his coat on because he's a wuss. Everyone else standing around barely clothed, and there's Max with his big old bomber jacket on. Doesn't want to get his nipples out, obviously. Okay, so we did that one last time. Let's have a bit of old school, right? Streets of Rage 2. You're right, BK Roo. Yes! That's what I'm talking about. Oh, yes. Oh, you know what, BK, you're absolutely... Look at this. I could do diagonal running. Look at that. Right. So what did I... That one, this one, right. And this one. Yep. Nope, I got it. Yep. The Streets of Rage 3 characters use their frame data from the original game. Ah. So every one of her offensive specials is invulnerable. Just be careful not to mash the special button. Not until I've... How do I... That's it. All I've got to do is just unlock infinite special, right? And I can just keep smashing the button then. Haha! Here comes the sniper. This area in Streets of Rage 4 is really good because you get the you get a car smashes into that wall, and it's a really nice change. I remember when it happened first time for Switch, it really confused me as to what was going on. I was like, oh wow, that's really cool, and everything went a bit Street Fighter 2. You know what I mean? Whoops. Oh yeah, you're right, you can do that. Oh. But let's get rid of this. Yeah. Look at that. Yes. Down for so special down forward and up. Interesting. You sound like someone to who I need to pick the brains of, BK. I need to pick your brains. I need to talk Streets of Rage, Bare Knuckle, and Streets of Rage Remake with you. This genius. Whoops. There we go. So I don't know whether it's coming through with the stream, but the stereoscopicness of this track is brilliant because that synth is bouncing between my headphones. Oh, awesome, BK. It is so good, isn't it? What I might actually ask is if Squidge can send you a cheeky message and see if we can arrange something. So that would be awesome. A chill bar, yeah. Do. Now you see, this is right. Streets of Rage Remake has this, especially for Streets of Rage 2, has this branching narrative. I've told you about it before, right? You have this ability to go, why is Blaze attacking so slow? Because it's me playing, that's why. That's why. You know what? Let's go have a look. Let's see what we've set the options to. So it was miscellaneous, wasn't it? No, it wasn't. Pause delay is set to remake. Streets of Rage 2, Streets of Rage 3. What was it that you said? On combined, she's at Streets of Rage 3 fastest, maybe on remake speed. Ah, right, okay. What was it that you actually said? Said it to something. I don't remember what it was. You're not used to the remake speed. Maybe I should do... So what do you reckon? Streets of Rage 2, Streets of Rage 3. Right? Because that's the fastest speed. Alright. Let's try this again then. Blaze and Axel. Achwell. Here we go. Skip that story a bit because we've read that twice now. Straight into this bit. Straight in with the action. Wallop! That's what we're talking about. There we go. That feels a lot faster now, actually. Yes! That's what I'm talking about. Yes! Thank you ever so much there, BK. Excellent. Thank you ever so much for recommending it, BK. You've made this up. What did we say it was? I can't remember. There it is. That button. Yep. Let's have an apple. An apple a day keeps the something, something, something. You're absolutely right, BK. There is a very lengthy pause for the Streets of Rage 2 and remake type, which is interesting because it allows you to sort of set your own. What's this? We've got some. What happens if you jump kick a large group of enemies? It pauses her hit midair, but the pause doesn't pause the other enemies. I'm gonna have to try and recreate that because I can't see that. But yeah, you get locked hitting enemies, but another walks up behind and punches you. Oh right, that's fine. I don't mind that. If I'm silly enough to let an enemy walk up behind me and attack me, that's my problem, not the game engine's problem. Batter up. You know what? Screw this. Get rid of that. That's what I'm talking about. Love it. Look at that. Yes. Oh, that makes the game so much more fun to play. I'm a sucker for that sort of high speed sort of sound. It's genius. Thank you ever so much for these pointers, BK. This is going to extend the life of my play of this game, make it a lot better. So yeah, as I was saying before, there's this. The Streets of Rage Remake has branching narratives for most of the different stories. So at this point, we now have a branching narrative, right? Do we go up or do we go across? I'm going to follow as much as I can, the original story for Streets of Rage 2 and go across. Because if you go up, the building gets set on fire, I think? And it's slightly different. You end up in the rooftops, which I feel like is more the Streets of Rage 4 story, right? I'm going to go this way. Do, 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 do. Oh dear. Might have to take a bit of a break in a moment. Just to take a little semantic break from this. Bit of a breather. Not from Streets of Rage 2, but just from Bare Knuckle Remake, Streets of Rage Remake as a whole. But we'll finish the first level first. Ooh. Okay. I have to. Everything about Streets of Rage 2 was just so much better than the original. Like, Sega/Ancient really dialed it up to 11 when they made Streets of Rage 2. They took everything that worked and just made it so much better. Fight me if you would about Streets of Rage 2 being better than Streets of Rage 1, but it's how I feel, and you'll just have to deal with it. So then, extending my question from earlier on about Streets of Rage 1, who were the best characters? Streets of Rage 2, who were the best characters, right? So you got to remember with Streets of Rage 2, you didn't have Adam, right? But you had Blaze and Max. So you started with 3 characters in the original, and then you ended up with 4 in the sequel, right? I wouldn't have expected anything less from you, Squidge. Blaze is Bay, right? What I'm going to do, I'll be come back to that in a moment, right? We will come back to that, I promise you. We're going to take a little break from it first, right? So, I'm going to leave the... I don't know whether you can hear it still. No, you can't, okay. But, for those who don't know, we do write a lot of stuff about video games. We do a podcast about video games, do the streaming about video games. And one of the things that's great about our website, Waffling Tales Are Rocks, is there was a blog post that came out this week. Well, Switch It Up Part 1. Let me just refresh the page and make sure it's still there. Yeah, Switch It Up, which is about when I bought my Switch last year, which games I bought. But there's a whole bunch of content there for you to take a look at. We interviewed Craig Snape, who's making a game called Kung Fu Jesus, for a blog post. And we also talked to the man himself, Michael Herman, about Retromania Wrestling, which is, I think, is going to be the best wrestling games in a very long time. But that's my opinion. But all of that is available at the website. We've even got a page, Our Podcast, which is about the podcast that we do. Blah, blah, stop it, Jamie, here we go, right? So let's go back. But we did, what we usually do, right, is we have an artist that we help, that we commission to do the artwork, right? So our wrestling episode, which is amazing, includes Squidge's character, who's like this wolf character, being hit over the head with an actual chair, right? But there you go, yeah. But one of the things that we usually do is we usually create pages with show notes for the episodes. We did release an episode this week which doesn't have show notes, so I'm going to post this into the chat now. That is an episode that we recorded. The chat will come back on stream in a moment, but for the people who are there right now live, you can click that if you want. That's a quick explanation of where we've been and where we're coming back from. But yeah, the artwork is amazing. If I just go past the first page, I should really be scrolling with the mouse rather than mouse wheel. But you can see like some of the artwork that we've had done. Let's go to page 2. It's almost completely Hurricanes' art, right? So we actually we commission work from an artist on Twitter called Hurricanes. So what I should have done, you know what, I'll do it this way. I was going to go to the URL, but Hurricanes is the person that we commissioned the art from. And Hurricanes is awesome, right? So, yeah, you want some artwork doing? Go see Hurricanes. Look at some of the art that they do, right? But, yeah, the art that we've had done is amazing. Like, this one here is brilliant, just with, like, where is Santa? Genius, right? And we don't send very much over. But, yeah, definitely check out the website, wafflingtailors.rocks. I'll post that into the chat as well. Let's have a look. Let's do that. Just so that people who are here now can take a look. If you're watching on demand, because we upload these to YouTube as well, then you can check that out too. But let's go back to the game. Whoops. Yeah, there we go. Except there we go. Okay. So Squidge just said he'll be right back, and BK Rouge just tried it with the remake pause delay, and it's so slow. You're absolutely right. I knew that was going to happen, and I knew I was going to take damage. Oh well. Oh, are you heading off there, BK? But yeah, you're right there, Squidge. The artist that we've not. I don't think we've picked is the right word, but the artist that we work with is amazing for what they do. Oh, okay, cool. In that case then, BK Roo, thanks for stopping by, and thank you ever so much for dropping all those knowledge bombs. We'll have to figure out a way, if you don't mind us getting in contact to ask you some more questions about Streets of Rage Bare Knuckle, then yeah, if you can figure that out, let us know. maybe if you and Squidge can figure something out between you, or maybe I'll try and figure something out with you about how to get in contact, because I'd love to ask you more questions. But yeah, thank you ever so much for joining us and taking some time to chat with us. It was amazing. Thank you. And of course, take it easy here. Look at this. Thumbs off his bike. Oh dear. Okay then, Squidge. Difficult question for you. Streets of Rage 3. Who's the best character? Right? That me asking that question implies that I acknowledge that Streets of Rage 3 exists. So, for the time being, Streets of Rage 3 exists. Who's the best character? I love that they get split into pieces when it explodes near them. Just the extra level of violence is ridiculous. Bam, 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 bam. Oh, I see. So Streets of Rage 3, presumably Blaze is in it, but not as good, right? For some reason, Axel's better. Why is that, I wonder? I like the way you're thinking there, Spooky. But, oh, this is it. And the problem with that kind of thinking there, Spooky, is that if it does exist, then that kind of logic implies that the Star Wars prequels actually exist, right? Because otherwise they wouldn't start at 4, right? Dangerous territory. Because we all know that the Star Wars prequels don't actually exist. They are fan fiction, is what they are. At best, that's what they are. So Axel is a beast in Streets of Rage 3. Okay. But like even compared to the ridiculously useless Dr. Zan. Take this off here. The Star Wars prequels are a fever dream. If only they were. If only they were. As the sovereign entity in my own country, which is not really real, but let's just pretend that it is, I refuse to acknowledge the existence of the Star Wars prequel movies in the same way that certain groups, certain states in America refuse to acknowledge the existence of the values in pi after the decimal point. So Dr. Zan is just weird. He is. But you can see where they got the inspiration for exactly, Spooky, exactly. The Indiana Jones trilogy is indeed a trilogy, and it ends at the 3rd movie. Although there's been some interesting again, Indiana Jones 4, the fan-made movie, right? The one that was directed by Steven Spielberg and written by the guy who replaced George Lucas after he died in a car crash or something in the 80s. The Indiana Jones 4 movie, there's been some controversy around it because apparently the ending was slightly changed, right? At the end of the movie, Indiana Jones wanders off after having married Marion, and Shia LaBeouf's character, whatever he's meant to be called, grabs a hold of Indy's hat and tries to put it on. Except Indy walks past him and grabs the hat. Now, in the original theatrical release for the first week or so, right? For the first week of the original theatrical release, Indy walked past him and said, the line, "You wish, kid," or "You dream, kid," or "Dream on, kid," something like that, right? He made an actual pissy remark at him. However, after the first week, that line was changed and removed. The DVD releases also don't have it on. There's a whole video by Wang. If you don't know who Wang is, I will link to you in a moment, but there's a whole video by Wang explaining that, yeah, this whole thing has changed. And there's people on the internet historians, who are trying to find out people who've got DVDs of the screeners and stuff, so that they can actually restore the line. Because it's just another example of George Lucas not actually being able to write a story and then changing it later on. So, interesting stuff, right? Get rid of this outrun. There we go. Oh no, it's Bonanza Brothers. That's what it was. Ah, Man of Taste is spooky. He's watching the videos by Huang as well. Excellent. I like to pronounce it with that kind of weird twang to it, because there's an H in there, right? It's not just the word Wang, it's Huang. Indeed, Squidge. We did see it when it first came out, unfortunately. And yes, it does have the "you," whatever it is, the "you wish" or "dream on, kid" line. Absolutely. But yeah, it's been removed for no real reason. And it seems that no one on the production team acknowledges it, which is interesting. But there you go. Oh dear. What other movies and series of stuff are there where there clearly isn't another one in another entry? Oh yeah, okay. So there is definitely not a Resident Evil survivor, a gun survivor, right? Because there wasn't a first-person Resident Evil game because the dialogue was so terrible. Even though Squidge, B and I talked about it for a long time on one of the episodes, it is definitely not a thing. It is not a thing. My friend, Leon S. Kennedy. Definitely not a game. Yeah, Squidge there saying that Indiana Jones 4 was definitely his fever dream. You're absolutely right, Squidge. It indeed was. I knew what you meant. Let's go see the pirates. Yarr! Etc. Oh, don't steal my... Oh, son of a... This guy is definitely playing in the same way that you play there, Squidge. Not only is he stealing all of my pickups, he's also stealing all of the deaths as well. Spooky in there with the deep cut. I'm still waiting for the Matrix to get a sequel. Oh dear. What's this? I am Vincent. Ah, oh, there he is. The deep cuts about the four. Was it the 4 stages of Vincent, Squidge? What were the stages of Vincent? You have to share with us what you mean. I'm sure that everyone's already seen it, but I can't remember what they were. Oh dear. The alien bit. Excuse me, I don't know whether they came through, but a couple of burps there. Stage 1, who am I? Stage 2, who's Vincent? Stage 3, am I Vincent? Stage 4, I am Vincent. Ah! Absolutely right. Deep cuts against Vincent there. Stage 5, it's all my fault. It's, yeah, that is Vincent from Final Fantasy VII. I'm sure that Lulu would agree. I'm sure that Spooky would agree as well. I don't know, Spooky. I know you were playing through Final Fantasy VII. Whoops! Before the remake came out. How far through it did you get? Did you get all the way through it? Be interested to find out. Beaten up. Not this guy, not Zamza. Hate Zamza. Oh, sorry. I thought you meant. Sorry, yeah. I thought you meant Vincent from Final Fantasy VII. That's how much of a wally I am. But yeah, you're right. Vincent from Resident Evil Survivor is indeed. Who's Vincent? Am I Vincent? I'm Vincent. Is that my fault? Absolutely. But it could equally apply to Vincent from Final Fantasy VII as well, right? Take out maybe stage 3. Who's Vincent? Yeah. Yeah, remove stage 3 from that list of stages and you've got Vincent from Final Fantasy VII, right? I love that. Ooh. I could do that on my bass guitar as well. Real simple. Oh, cool. You just got Sid. Awesome. Ah, wow. Can be Zamza. Maybe. Yeah, Squidge hasn't finished the remake yet. Still. But he's getting there. That being said, no, we're not. No, Squidge, we're not talking about remake. We're talking about the original. So just shortly before the remake came out, Spooky started playing the original, so that then he could, you know, have something to compare it to. I feel like it was Lulu sort of pushed him into it, but I won't really say a bad word against Lulu. A, because she's amazing, and B, because I don't want to get hurt. No, but yes, so Spooky has started playing Final Fantasy VII the original as well, so that's interesting. Ooh. Oh yeah, I've got that one. It's like Boo. Whoops. Sit down and drink your damn tea. Yes. Do baseballs. Do baseballs what? Can you see it? Do baseballs. I mean, I understand why it was translated like that, because there is no, in Japanese, there is no verb for to play, in that you, in like, as in to play a game. So you would say that you do baseball rather than you play it. So the sign makes perfect sense in Japanese. But in English, do baseballs. The baseball's what? Well, Squidge, there's your question for the hour. Do baseballs. And I shall patiently await your answer. Conk. Do baseball stream of electric knuckles? I would say more a case of do baseballs. Just the baseballs. Do they? Do they, Squidge? Look at that, I beat Musashi. But we stage 4. Let's see if I can finish the game. Oh yeah, mate! The end of this level. It's an elevator level, isn't it? Inside of the baseball field. In the baseball diamond. Yes! Or is it the pitcher's mound? I don't know. Wherever it is, it's where it happens. Yes! Do androids dream of electric sheep? What a book. I don't... Honestly, because I saw Blade Runner first, I feel like Blade Runner's better. But Blade Runner is way far from perfect. It is nowhere near perfect. Especially since there's like 15 different versions of the movie. And each one adding about 4 seconds of movie. And each time they add 4 seconds of movie, it completely changes the point of the movie. And the fact that no one can agree that whether spoilers is a spoiler or not, which isn't even a thing in the original version in the original book, right? Because the original book doesn't even involve the same setup or the same characters. Oh, it does, but not in really the same way. Still asks the same metaphorical questions, but just not in the same framing. I love the idea of the oh, what is it called? The device that they plug themselves in. That they plug themselves into. There's a device in the book that is essentially a VR headset, and people plug themselves into it to escape reality or whatever. And it's essentially the Better Than Life machine from Red Dwarf, but before Rob Grant and Doug Naylor got the idea for it. In fact, yeah, the Better Than Life is their version of it. How many reshoots of the noodle scene? Loads. And it wasn't even the noodle scene, it was the way that the guy put the bowl of noodles down on the table. On the behind the scenes for the Final Cut collection of Blade Runner, there is... They show 5 different versions of just a bowl of noodles being placed down onto the table. Camera angle doesn't change. The camera angle doesn't change. The angle that the bowl goes down doesn't change. The background noise doesn't change. Nothing changes. And I agree with you, Spooky. I am going to eat you, little fishy. Because I like little fish. Too slow chicken merengue. Too slow. Oh man, we need to figure out a way of paying William Shatner to read a bunch of the cat's lines. How awesome would that be? Bill Shatner with his twisted delivery, delivering a bunch of lines that the cat delivers from Red Dwarf. Isn't it? I am a fish. I am a fish. You're right, Spooky. Time to make a Kickstarter. I wonder if he's on Cameo. Because if he's on Cameo, we can make him do it. And you just pay him some money and he'll just do it. Don't take that just yet. What's this guy doing? The guy standing directly above Blaze there. What the hell is he doing? I've only ever... Look, this guy. What is he doing? What is he doing? Oh my god. That's just blown this game wide open. You were indeed talking about what you'd done earlier on. Bill Shatner has done a whole bunch of spoken word songs. There's the Bohemian Rhapsody one, the Rocket Man. He's made a whole career out of it. And they are interesting, is how I'll put it. Okay, this is the one I always get wrong. Let's go that way. I'm going to end up on the speedboats, I just know it. And I hate being on the jet skis, speedboats. Do, do, do. I honestly don't think I've ever heard Rap God, so I don't know. I'm not gonna lie, Eminem is pretty good at rhyme spitting. But I'm no expert, so... Do 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 do. This track always reminds me of Ace of Base. All that she wants is another what's it? Yeah, right? It's that electric piano in the back. Bum, 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 bum. It always reminds me of Ace of Base. There we go. They're squishy. That's it. You're absolutely right, Spooky. It was the casual tuxedo with the undone bow tie, and he's smoking a cigarette. Because he's a classy dude, remember? Oh my goodness. I'm not sure which one you're saying yes to there, Squidge. Whether it's what Spooky has said, or the thing that I said about this song reminded me of Ace of Base. But either way, I think that I agree with you completely. I'm just gonna eat both chickens. Chicken! See comment above. Fair enough. Awesome. We're getting there. Okay, so non-Streets of Rage fighting games. Non-Streets of Rage side-scrolling brawlers. Tell me your favorite ones and why. Right? Let's just say that Streets of Rage is clearly at the top of the pinnacle of side-scrolling brawler games. But what about the other ones? Which ones are good and why are they good? Final Fight, Double Dragon, Bad Dudes. What is it and why is it great? Slice them up nice. Double Dragon and Gran Turismo. Gran Turismo isn't a side-scroller beat 'em up. I don't think I understand what's going on there, Squidge. Gran Turismo isn't a side-scroller beat 'em up. Not unless you count bashing the other car into the barrier as a beat 'em up move. Which you probably do, don't you? See, this is where the unskilled player would think that Balloon is the boss. Balloon is not the boss. Need to get some health. Give me that chicken! Because the boss is the boxer dude who jumps out of here. So we know that Gran Turismo isn't a real answer from you, Squidge. Or rather, Gan Turismo, which is what you've put. Gan Turismo. Gan Turismo sounds like some kind of Swedish, like, detective. The Adventures of Gan Turismo and the Murder of Beth McDougal. I don't know. But is Double Dragon a real answer from you, Squidge? Because I'd like to know. And are you only saying that because we're going to be watching the movie soon? Ooh. Excuse me. The more pop is required. Ooh. Oh dear. Gan. Oh dear. That is some deep cuts to Martian Success and Nadesco. Geki Genga. Ooh. I'm left wondering which thing you're answering yeah to. Oh, the Master System version only of Double Dragon. Okay, not the NES version. Do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. There's something there. Oh well. Why the Master System version, Squidge? I have to ask. Because otherwise I'll never ask and I'll never know why. We can't live in a world where I don't know. Will you stop? Will you stand still and let me hit you? Just gonna keep pushing the button and see what happens. Yeah! Give me that Hank! Oh, look at this. Do 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 do. I see, so it's the first version you played and the first version that you can play it by yourself. Okay, that's cool. See, the only reason I ask is because, like, Double Dragon was originally ported to everything going at the time. Everything at the time. Kapow! You're all about those little emoji today, aren't you, Squidge? Under one of these sets of sandbags, there's a rocket launcher, and I want to get it. How dare you take my bag of coins? This is a bag of monies, of which you are not going to get. I like how Blaze just like slowly walked away from the explosion, then it's just like, Oh, excuse me, that was a bit upsetting, wasn't it? Ugh. That'll teach him. Okay, then I got zapped. Then I got zapped. Then I got zapped. Then I got zapped. Who remembers Afro Man's Because I Got High, right? Not Samza again. Sadly, Spooky does remember. Afro Romance, because I got high. Oh dear. It wasn't the greatest song ever, was it? Oh dear. What about you then, Spooky? What's your, like, top 3 beat-em-ups? That'd be a good topic, I think. Other than Streets of Rage, right? Imagine that we all know that Streets of Rage is amazing, so you don't have to mention Streets of Rage. What other beat-em-ups are great? Are there any beat-em-ups that are great? I mean, I know that Golden Axe is good, but what are the other ones? Bing! Got him. Is that your answer to everything, Scridge? It wasn't a song. It was a fever dream. That was pretty good, that. I'm going to do that again. It wasn't a song. It was a fever dream. Like the way I delivered that line. Okay, stage 7. Penultimate stage. Here we go, with that flowing lava in the background. What kind of evil arch nemesis in the middle of a city? Alright, so we've gone out to the middle of the jungle to get there. But what kind of evil genius needs flowing lava in his secret location? Actually, okay, scratch that. Every single evil genius from any James Bond movie ever has lots of flowing lava, so I guess I'd better keep my opinions to my own self. Because I clearly don't know what it means to be an evil genius. Let me get my monies! Money! Glasses, please. Laser sharks everywhere. Laser sharks are indeed everywhere, Scridge. Every single James Bond movie has to either have lava, a cat, or laser sharks. That reminds me. You know the game Evil Genius, where you have to design your own evil genius lair? That's like free. Oh yeah, Alien Storm. That was a good game. I liked that because it had that mixture of like beat 'em up and first-person shootery levels, didn't it? It had like this ability to that's better. Every other level was like a first-person shooter level, wasn't it? That was a really good one. Left axle laying on his backside, as he should be. Lift level hype! It is not a Streets of Rage game if you don't have, it is not a Streets of Rage game if there are no elevator levels. It is that simple. Yes! The Power Ranger, the movie game on the Mega Drive, was really good. I have to say. It's these flying dudes again. They do my cake in. Hate him. It's one down. Oh well. Next bit of the elevator level, here we go. Whoop. You time it right with those kinds of... I love how you both had the same idea at the same time. Talking about the Power Rangers game from last year. I didn't get to try it, but I feel like there's a long list of video games, Squidge, that the pair of us need to try out when this whole nonsense is over. Right? All of this lockdown stupidity. Like I said, I only call it stupidity and nonsense because it's better to refer to it like that than to accept the scary reality that is what it represents. So when all of this is over, I think that Squidge and I are going to have to spend like 3 weeks just him catching me up on different games. You've already got it. Excellent. I'll come around your house then. As soon as this whole business is over. See, what's really kind of distressing about this level is you think that it's a boss rush, but it's not. The boss rush is in the next level. Was it a 1v1 or was it a side-scrolling? You want to take that, Squidge? Because, like I said, I haven't played it, so... It's the robots. Robot. Come here, robot. Ooh. Oh, mate, it's based off of the Mighty Morphin. Oh... Gonna have to play it now. Oops, pushed the wrong button. Sorry, folks. I think you really will, Spooks. By the sounds of it, it sounds amazing just from the idea that it's related to the old Mighty Morphin show. Clung. I love that conk noise. Clung. No! Splat. Yeah, stage 7 done, homie. You blitzed it when you came over. How long did it take you to finish it? Was it like one and done? Was it like, did it take a couple of playthroughs? What's the average playthrough? Is it like a couple hours? Be interested, because like the original side-scrolling beat-em-up games like Streets of Rage, originally designed for arcade cabinets, so you wanted it to be relatively short. And you know, Mega Drive games, you were looking at about an hour, 2 hours before you'd completed it fully anyway. Unless you're playing Sonic 3, in which case you're going to be there for like years, right? So I'd love to know what the average playthrough of a modern side-scrolling beat-em-up would be. Clung! Clung! Because like if you're paying, if you're going to pay £40 plus for a video game, you want it to last a while, right? So a side-scrolling beat-em-up that's on a modern system, I would want to last me at least 10 hours. I've tried finishing the tower climbing one of the stages. Oh, I see. So it took you about 7 hours, but because you tried finishing, there's a tower climbing mode. So is that tower climbing mode similar to like there's a mode in a bunch of the Dynasty and Samurai Warriors games that does like stage after stage after stage, like an infinite loop of more and more enemies in one area for you to wipe out. Is it similar to that but as a side scroller? £7 hours, 20 quid. I'd be quite happy with that. Especially since like these days I'm much more of an arcadey type person. You know, I get really far into RPGs and then I find like if I put it down for more than a day, I haven't got a chance at playing it. I've got to like if I start playing an RPG, right, or a very deep long story game that requires a lot of time and effort to be put in, right, and I put the game down for 2 days and then come back to it, there's no chance of me coming back to that game. Because there's like the time and effort that is required to put into it to get back up to what was I doing, where was I going, what was the story, what's the controls, what's the system, how do the relationships between the characters work. All of that stuff is lost because, you know, I got stuff to do. So storing all of that's not so easy. Then again, if it's a book, it goes in. Oh, in Final Fantasy VII Remake I'll do in 2 days straight. I'll just not put down the controller till I finished it. That is, of course, if I'm allowed to come around and play it. It was a bit creepy, that smile, wasn't it? Ugh. Got him. You're gonna set me up a food and saline drip. Okay, fair enough. Do I need to get a set of tenors as well? Ah, run away! Ugh. I'm on my own setting up a capita. Oh dear. Oh dear. 2 waves of enemies then, Shiva. Nearly finished Streets of Rage 2 story mode. I feel like we should definitely, this is like behind the scenes podcasty website discussion, but I feel like we should definitely get that BK Roo involved at some point. See if we can send a bunch of questions through. See if he'd be willing to be on the show, I think. Got him with the back of my foot. Do 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 do. Ugh. Oh, you see, now you're seeing that I'm not actually very good at Streets of Rage games. It's gonna make me continue on the last stage, isn't it? It is, isn't it? That's what's gonna happen. I'll point out as well, this is easy. This is on easy mode. And you're right, Spooky, that guy really... BK Roo really knows his stuff, whoever he is. Whatever his background is, he really knows his stuff. So, yeah. Definitely going to have to see if he'd be interested in being on the show. He did say to reach out to him, but I don't know whether Twitch allows you to send messages to people. If so, Squidge, would you mind trying to draft something to him and send it through? I think that'd be pretty cool. Don't make me take a continue. Axel, get in there. Or just stand still. Stupid CPU control. It's the silly thing with the attack thing and do that. Ooh. I don't crash. Got him. Nope. Yep. Nope. Oh. Yeah. Well done, CPU. Got him. Awesome. You can whisper at people that he's following so we can get in touch at any time. Brilliant. I don't know what any of that means, but yes. If that means that we can reach out to him, then fantastic. Well, you'll be able to, Squidge. I won't, because you're the one logged in, right? I just realised that. Awesome. Yeah. Ah, missed him. Do not make me take a continue. Ah. Well, you're the expert here, Squidge. You know what it's all about. So if it's a private message type of thing, then you're the one who knows what that is all about. It's alright, what we'll do is we'll discuss it tomorrow on the chill out stream thing. And we'll see if he's interested. Yes! Streets of Rage 2 complete. Ta-da! Oh, that was pretty cool. Kind of like a diamond cut thing. Doo-doo! Look at that. That's what I'm talking about. Oh yeah, didn't use a continue. Kaboom! Shaboom! What was it? Holy... I don't even remember what it was. Oh well. Final crash! Yeah, that's the tune that I'm talking about, right? That means you've done it. I love all this artwork that they put together as well. So what does everyone think of the Streets of Rage remake so far, right? I'm likely going to make this into a 2-stream game, right? Do Streets of Rage 1 and 2 in this one, and then do the remaining 2 stories in the next one. And then I'll maybe see... Do not blame me, Squidge. The first time I could play... He says, the first time I completed Streets of Rage 2 on hard mode and heard that tune, he was in tears. Yeah, absolutely. The struggle, right? You did it. Totally get it. Look at these screens. Look at that. Boot to the aura by the looks of it. Oh, I got 5th. Yes. Beat my previous playthrough. Yeah. Awesome. Let's see what we can buy. There's all sorts. Right, in the shop. Unlock all the characters. Boss rush mode. Yeah. So if I now go... Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Nope, it wasn't that one. How do you get the other character then? Nope. Nope. Because you can see it's the image for Blaze is the original image, but when you hover over, so you have to... Nope. Need to figure this out. I want to... Ah! Oh, mate, look at that. Streets of Rage 2, Streets of Rage 1, Streets of Rage 3. and they all have different stats as well. Yeah, it's for future reference and for anyone who's watching, it's the button that you used to call the police for backup. That's cool. Excellent. Yeah, like this battle mode rips straight into Streets of Rage 4 without even so much as a how do you do. But there you go. So that's where I'm going to leave it, I think. Streets of Rage Remake, the unofficial one, build version 5.1 on Linux, right? So it's not even on Windows. I've done Streets of Rage 1 storyline, Streets of Rage 2 storyline. I'm going to attempt to do Streets of Rage 3 in the next one. That one's interesting because it's like you have to rescue the mayor and there's a specific path you have to take in the final stage, otherwise you get the bad ending. So and then there's a fourth story that they've invented for this version of the game. So yeah, excellent. If you can track it down. It's loads of fun. Definitely. But with that being said, I'm gonna move my controller across the page, apparently. With that being said, Squidge is on point with his emojis today, and I will catch you again, I guess. So we'll see you later, folks. Oh no, that keyboard shortcut doesn't work. Let's try this one, cause I'm my Wally. I'll see you again soon, folks. Thanks for stopping by and checking it out.
Welcome to the Waffling Tailors podcast. Today, your podcast is brought to you by the letters Q, E, F, Yoshi, Chica from Five Nights at Freddy, and this sound. That's very lyrical. Oh, yeah.
Welcome to the promo for the Waffling Tailors podcast. I am your promo host, Caprogman, and with me as always is Squidgy. Say hello, Squidgy.
Hello, Squidgy.
How are you, Squidgy?
Hello, Squidgy.
This is a short promo to tell you all about the Waffling Tailors podcast. As you may or may not know, we are the Waffling Tailors, and each episode of our podcast covers topics from the utterly serious to the downright ridiculous. So strap yourself in and prepare to waffle on. See you later, Squidgy.
Hello, Squidgy.
Maybe we should tell the people who are listening what they're actually listening to.
Why?
Because then they'll know what they're listening to.
But why?
I've been farming Uranus in the arsenal. I'm not going to explain. Anyone that's played Borderlands 2 new DLC will understand what I'm on about.
So, yeah.
Embrace the potato.
And also another 9-hour intro. You know, so I've been taking my time with that, not actually playing it, just going through the intro.
Mm-hmm.
What you're saying is they've gone full Metal Gear then?
Oh, don't say that. I'm just imagining Solid Snake with a keyblade now.
That'd be epic.
A very small one that you can stab them in the neck with, you know.
Does anybody mind if I do a 400-hour monologue?
Where's my weapons? What the hell's this?
Metal Gear. It can't be.
Can I make a small request?
No.
Oh, God.
Nuclear vessels.
What does the music sound like? Can we just hum it to make him feel better?
Do 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 Waffling Tailors do 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 do.
Is that any better?
From the makers of Mako Energy,